What's up, guys? Race Nation TV here, back with another World of Outlaws report. Tonight we were at the Tri-State Speedway, and remember, let's go back to last night when I said if there wasn't going to be a video today, it's because we got rained out. Well, we got rained on, but somehow, in some way, we got the race in completely. I'm here with Joe Donahue once again. We're in the car of Cole Freilich, who's right here in the Holly Holland shirt. And then we got Nate Stewart, who is a semi-professional fake race car driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does stuff. So we were all here today. We got rained on. There was the track. It actually rained this morning. It rained
A lot.
midday, and then we got sprinkled on during hot laps.
And it's raining right now.
Indeed it is.
It is actually raining right now as we speak. It was raining in Indianapolis, hard in Indianapolis. It's raining in the north of Indiana, but somehow got a race in. We got a race. And Joe, talk about what that did to the track.
So, dirt, when it slicks off, it's very important that it's not wet, because slicked off dirt that gets kind of hard and it doesn't let the water seep in. That's a problem for the dirt. It acts like ice, but the point in time where we started getting drizzles tonight, the track wasn't really worked in that much. It was during the hot lap session, so it did a little bit of reverse work on some of the parts of the track that they hadn't quite worked in a lot. They had to put a little more time in to work in higher up the track and whatnot, but generally it only added a little bit extra moisture that kind of slicked it off the track at the start. So the looseness of the dirt and the wetness of the dirt made it a lot looser at the beginning of the night than it probably would have been elsewise. But obviously, by the end of the night, the track slicks off a lot. So a lot of the guys were able to still work with that pretty well.
Yeah, it made it really interesting. I mean, I don't think I've ever been to a dirt race where the track just didn't take rubber, like where it was just slick all night. So let's get into talk about the heats and get into that. Let's start off with qualifying. Just want to point out that Corey Eliason qualified P1 by a bit, like 800th.
Later into it too.
That's
Second group.
Yeah.
Second group. Get into the heats. Heat number 1, Hunter Schoenberg P1. He hates it when I just keep calling him 100%.
It's easier than saying Schoenberg, I guess.
He won the race. The heat. Tyler Courtney P2, Sheldon Haudenschild P3. Parker Price Miller and Chase Stockton took out the rest of the transfers. The guys out, just like last night, a lot of full-time guys. Brock Zierfoss, first one out. Logan Schuchart continues to have issues. Terrible night last night with the engine issues, and tonight, no problems, but he just didn't really show any pace. Sam Haferteep Jr., Bill Baylog, and Noah Gass. We go into heat number 2. I'm using a cup phone right now. It's pretty cool. Ian Madsen, P1. Ian Madsen, there's something to talk about this heat. Took it 3 wide on the inside.
Yeah.
On the initial start.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a jump start at first, but
We kind of talked about
that. We had 2 of those scenarios happen back-to-back heats.
Yeah.
And they didn't call it off, which was interesting because they were still mid 3 and 4 when they both went. So
yeah. Him and I talked about
I was
that.
kind of surprised.
Yeah, that we kind of thought we would get a call back, but
we got David Gravel in second, James McFadden, last night's winner, in third, Kyle Cummins in fourth, and Tim Kading, the last transfer. Then we got Paul Neinheiser. I said that right?
I think so.
I'm not from
Yeah,
Indiana.
something like that.
Craig Kinzer, Jaden Rogers, and Rico Abreu. Rico, once again, bad night.
Yeah.
Didn't transfer to the A through the heat. That wasn't good. But yeah, full-time guy, Craig Kinzer. And then, whenever Rico, again, doesn't make it straight to the A out of the heat, it's just something crazy. We get to heat number 3. Carson Macedo, first in his heat. Spencer Baston, who actually was filling in for CJ Leary, who had a personal emergency. So Spencer Baston said he was watching the Masters today and got a call on how quick he could get here, and finishes second in his heat. Very interesting. Very, very. And I hope whatever emergency CJ Leary had to attend to, I hope everything is okay. And yeah, definitely we talked about it. CJ's a great guy. Definitely wouldn't want any. And we lost the.
Ignore my car being my car.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2017 Buick. I do want to note, though, Macedo did the same thing as Ian Madsen did in the second heat.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
they both kind of started mid-turn and got the lead by the end of the straightaway.
Again, surprised it wasn't a jump start and a call
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I really thought on the Heat 3 one they would have called it off because it
Yeah.
was way earlier than the Ian went.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, you would think someone would have called him out by then after it happened twice in a row.
Maybe they did, because it didn't happen again.
Right.
We got Corey Eliason, Carson Short, and Justin Peck in the transfers. Robert Ballou, Critter Malone, and Zach Hampton, Andy Bishop, and Clinton Boyles. They didn't transfer. I hated to see Critter Malone not make it through.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, there's not actually a lot of guys who didn't transfer that were surprising here. A lot of good names, but when you're at a World of Outlaws event, usually you look for the full-time guys who didn't advance. And then the final heat of the night, we had Aaron Reitzel, Jacob Allen in second, Brad Sweet, Ayrton Jeniton, and Jason Sides. And this was crazy. P6, the first car to not transfer, Donnie Schatz. We've been talking about Danny. Danny? We've been talking about Donnie. It's midnight. We've been talking about Donnie in his season this year and how he's been close, he's shown speed, and then just had problems occur, and just one spot from the transfer. It wasn't even a battle for the transfer. They pretty much were just running single file throughout that final heat, and Donnie just didn't transfer. I think Joe and I both were like, Donnie's season, just keeps happening, and it's crazy to see.
Yeah.
I think it's just because his next win is 300. I literally think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that is literally it's just because you know how the racing gods work.
Mhm.
And then it could be the racing gods. That's all I'll say it's because of, and it's just whenever it's time for his 300th win is when he'll click and be back. I think honestly. So
Yeah.
And then Wayne Johnson, another full-time guy, and Mason Daniel, a full-time guy, didn't make it. Brayton Lynch also in last. So Donnie Schatz, huge name that didn't advance. Well, when you got Donnie Schatz in the Last Chance Showdown, it's pretty obvious that Donnie Schatz is going to win the Last Chance Showdown. But this one was interesting because we had Schatz, Neinheiser, Below, and Craig Kinzer advance through the showdown. And Brock Zierfoss was the last guy out. Now, Brock Zierfoss led most of the showdown and just got shuffled back and didn't advance, had to use a provisional tonight. Another guy who didn't make it, Wayne Johnson, Sam Haferteep, Mason Daniel, Schuhart had to use a provisional. He actually DNF'd in the Last Chance Showdown.
Yeah.
Rico didn't make it to the A tonight, finished 10th. Noah Gass, Critter Malone 7th. Critter Malone was close, man.
He was.
So sad.
He was in the top 4 for maybe a little bit too.
It was pretty sad. But yeah, let's get into the feature, the A main. Now this one is painful.
Pain.
For a number of reasons.
The race, it started. I told these guys early in the night, if it's anything like the rest of the season's been, we're gonna get a green flag run in the beginning. It's gonna look like it's over. There's gonna be a red flag, and then this is gonna be a shootout.
You called it.
What happened?
We did get a fairly early yellow though.
We
Yeah,
did.
there was a yellow.
I can't remember who it was for though.
Tim Kading. So
Yeah,
we
that's
had one yellow. Tim Kading spun in turn number 4, all by himself. Really, when the leaders were lapping him, and then
he was right there with them.
and so before that restart, the big kind of person to watch was Sheldon Hoddenshield. He had worked his way from 9th to 3rd,
Oh yeah.
and he was
Yeah.
when we said the track was slick, that's what Haudenschild thrives on. I'm going to do this so it doesn't do the thing again. That's where Haudenschild thrives, is when it's slick. And he was just ripping the lip, circling guys.
Yeah.
When I was talking about the Chili Bowl, when he was talking about guys flying the outside and passing 3 cars at a time, that's literally what Haudenschild was doing.
Yeah.
He was just moving. So when he restarted 3rd, I knew immediately it was happening. He battled with Schoenberg for a while, Hunter Percent, and Percent just lost it in 2, almost spun it out, kept it going.
Yeah.
And then it was a Tyler Courtney versus Sheldon Hoddenshield. It was a NOS on NOS car violence.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And Sheldon he could run the top so good.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he got Courtney. Sheldon got to the lead, and he was taken off. And there was 10 laps to go. Comes around
7.
comes around. There might be some mixed opinion. I want to talk about this. Sheldon comes around the outside of Robert Ballou, and just kind of threads the needle, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I felt like Sheldon came around the outside, and obviously Sheldon's ripping the lip, so he comes down real fast. And Ballou ran down low, he's down there, and so Ballou slid off of turn number 2, just slid all the way up the track, and Sheldon was just trying to squeeze through there, and Ballou came up too quick, and they made contact off of, Sheldon's left rear bounced over Robert Ballou's car, and then he did his thing, and it cut down Haudenschild's wheel. But I just thought he was trying to get past lap traffic, and Ballou came up too far.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And it should be noted, this happened right in front of us too, because we were all sitting on the back stretch, and it was off of turn 2.
Yeah.
We were
Kyle
literally
wild.
Kyle wasn't very happy about that.
I was having such a good time until that happened.
Kyle wasn't very
I was
happy.
having a great time. And because the other sad part is I actually thought that Sheldon was fine, and then I looked at Joe and I was like, he's good, and he's like, he's got a flat, buddy.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was tough.
But what was interesting, because we did have a red for this, because Ballou, after they spun, Ballou's car tipped over on its side.
Yeah, very lightly, but yeah.
But this is, if you've never this is dirt track racing. They flipped it over back on its wheels, and the top wing didn't even take any damage. They were just good.
No.
It was so light though.
Yeah, we saw the car after, because we started touring around the pits afterward, and the wing had 0 damage whatsoever. You couldn't even tell the car went on its side at any point.
Exactly. It was something, that's for sure.
But nonetheless, Sheldon Hoddenshield goes to the tail end of the lead lap, and we got a 10-lap shootout to the end, and it was just a fantastic battle between Macedo and James McFadden, because Tyler Courtney at that point, after he got passed by Sheldon, fell back to third, and we just had a McFadden versus Macedo battle, and McFadden almost went 2 for 2 for the weekend.
Yeah, it was a good race.
Macedo ended up coming off with the win tonight. Second win of the season. The third driver with multiple wins in the World of Outlaws this year. Really impressive if you think about that stat. We're going to have 80-some races by the end of the year. And I still think guys like Jacob Allen could win. Zierfoss at one of the PA tracks probably.
Yeah, maybe.
There is a bunch of guys that could still win this year. And
don't forget about Mr. 300. He hasn't won yet.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Mr. 300 Donnie Schatz could win.
Mr. 300.
And Craig Kinzer, he had a few good runs.
Oh my gosh,
so
Craig
he
Kinzer?
could sneak up one.
What about Jason Sides running
Jason
with the Abru
Sides?
stuff? Running with the Abru stuff?
See, this has been kind of a weird year because guys you don't typically think would run up front have been running up front every once in a while. So
That's got a good point. A lot of those all-star guys have been coming over and
Justin
running really well.
Peck?
Justin Peck could win a World of Outlaws race this year.
Tyler Courtney?
Hunter Schoenberg.
Hunter Schoenberg. Probably, you're going to get him one.
and
but
then you got Larson coming from
Oh.
Bristol, so that should be interesting.
Jack?
Jack.
Final year, he might,
Jack might
With
get
Rico's
one.
car, he could do it.
he's in a Rico car.
That would be cool.
So let's go back and talk about the battle for the win. There was, they were just going back and forth, sliders on sliders.
Yeah.
Blocking, taking away your line, it was just, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just so badass. It was great.
It was fun.
And there was a couple moments, where it got a little hairy. It was just
McFadden rode up the tail tank
Yeah.
of Macedo
Literally.
the one time.
With,
Literally
on the
rode
last lap.
That was
Yeah.
Because on the last lap, I thought
That's
Courtney
what
was
kept
going to
McFadden
steal it.
from winning it.
Yeah, that contact there, I thought Courtney was going to rip around the outside.
I thought we were
and
about
take
to see the leaders wreck each other and Courtney just rail around the outside
I was
around him.
kind of rooting.
Well,
I
I
was
found
ready
it
for
interesting.
that.
I was kind of ready for that.
What I
But
found interesting there was McFadden. He could really rip the top
hmm
as to where
That's what was happening.
Macedo really was running the bottom a lot, and
Yeah.
McFadden just had such a good car on the very edge of the cushion. So
Now, just like last night, we got a guy with us who this was his first World of Outlaws race. Well, actually, two of them. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot it was Cole's
I've only
first.
been to a
Well,
NASCAR race.
you
I've watched so many World of Outlaws races with him on Discord. I forgot it was his first attended race.
You also got to keep in mind, this is pretty much my first ever dirt race too.
This is his
Yeah,
first
this is
dirt
your
race.
introduction to sprint cars.
This is gonna
I've
be
only
like-
seen
dirt.
many sprints.
We need
so-
to make this a theme. If you've never been to an Outlaws race and you want to be in the end of the video, then there you go.
Yeah.
We can make this a theme.
we'll pull
We
him
gotta
down.
we gotta get the Florida crew too.
Oh, we got Florida boys who need to go to a dirt race. But What'd you think?
What'd you think?
What'd you think?
So, prior to this, like, I watched it in Discord with them, like they said, and I've always watched it when it was back on the Speed Channel with my granddad. But, like, I always had a huge respect for these guys because I thought it was a little crazy. But seeing it in person, I've realized these guys are absolute lunatics and it's batshit crazy. So, that's fine. But it's wild. And you don't really perceive that through, like, tapings or highlights or anything. But when you go in person, it's a whole different animal. Especially at a small bull ring like this, it's just insane. Especially with how many cars they ran tonight.
Nate, what'd you
Well,
think?
okay, so in the past, I've been to like a couple local dirt tracks racing, like not World of Outlaws or anything, just local stuff. But that was when I was like, around 4 or 5 years old, and I'm 20 now for reference. So this is my first dirt race in years. But I will say my World of Outlaws experience has been like pretty much watching highlights on Facebook and YouTube. But other than that, I've never really gotten into dirt racing or World of Outlaws or anything. I will say that for someone who, and I do kind of fancy the sprint cars a little bit on iRacing, and I find them a
Fake
ton
race
of
car
fun.
driver. Fake semi-pro.
Yeah, he's got a hoodie that says that.
Fake semi-pro
I do.
race car driver.
But and I've really only been to NASCAR events in my life, so this was definitely a huge change of scenery for me. But it was definitely a welcome change of scenery, and I will definitely be back to more World of Outlaws events in the future, especially to like.
You get free NOS.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
indeed.
do get free NOS. I didn't pick up my free NOS tonight.
Oh.
But definitely seeing these 410s rip around this small little bull ring like this, getting pelted with dirt, covered in dust and everything. It was a blast to say the least, and I really want to thank Cole for convincing me to come. And I mean, I definitely look forward to coming back to more World of Outlaws events in the future.
As do I. These are my first 2 races, dirt races I've been to in Indiana. Ohio boy, finally going to Indiana and watch some dirt racing. 2 tracks that are wingless tracks, because it's all you Indiana people enjoy.
I've never been to Indiana either.
Really?
Yeah.
This is your first time?
Okay,
This is my first
that
time
was
being in
new.
Indiana.
Really?
Wow.
Experiencing things here.
Wow.
But
Look at us.
two wingless tracks, all you people enjoy, and seeing winged cars and wingless tracks is something that you should definitely witness in person, because especially Tri-State. I have to say, I loved Kokomo.
Yeah.
Kokomo was great,
Loved it.
but it was exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I couldn't say more positive things about Kokomo, but it was what I expected it to be. Haubstadt was like way better than I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Facilities are great. Track race is great. I think they need to just dump water on it.
Nope, it did the thing.
We lost it.
I
There
think
it
they
is.
need to just dump water on it for like every day of the week for hours.
I think
and
the
just let this
banking-
track be like as moist as possible.
Yeah, I thought the banking made a huge difference for this
yeah.
track. I mean, it's so much smaller than what I'm used to in Pennsylvania or what even we saw at Kokomo, but the banking just made them, they could run up, they could get a cushion worked in a little bit, they could go down low. I mean, it was exciting, and it didn't really get dusty. That's because of the water, obviously, because it rained all day, but
Keep dumping water on the track.
yeah, just
please.
keep dumping water on the track. It didn't get dusty till the very end. It was exciting, and there was a lot of grip the whole way
The
through the night.
conditions of the track were perfect.
Yeah,
It was a double
There
there was
rainbow.
a double rainbow.
They say I'll give
You
you
better
my
put a
I'll
picture
give you
of
my
that.
picture of the double rainbow.
Got the double
Picture
rainbow.
of the double rainbow.
Well, I think that'll do it. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Thank you
thanks
guys
for
for being in the
inviting
videos.
Thank you.
Go check out their stuff. Go check out Nate's stuff. Apex Photography.
Apex Action Racing
Plug it.
Photography, and also twitch.tv/doitfordale, except the E is in front of the L and the 4 is actually a number 4.
That's not confusing. Go check out
more
Cole's
simple.
stuff. Slothy Racing on Twitch.
Yeah. I always run his cars. So
Yeah.
if you ever see like a Rick Mass car that says Racing HTV, it's likely
It's
me
the
because
Racing
nobody else runs
HTV.
it.
That's my driver.
I run with these guys during endurance events. That's about it.
That's
I
my
crash
driver.
the car about twice a week, so it's
Those are
I
my-
made up a 53-second gap at Sebring.
Those are my drivers. Go check out Joe's stuff.
Hello.
He makes stop motion sometimes.
I like
He does
race
cool stuff.
Joe's the best man.
He likes race cars. He does stuff.
I try my best.
He goes to college.
I go to college a lot.
Nerd.
we have a 3-hour drive, so we're gonna make some sandwiches. We're going to. I don't have any leaf blowers to tell to shut up tonight.
Oh, yay!
That's why we did it in the car. That's why we did it in the car. It's like quiet. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe. It really helps me out. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.